Virgo, welcome to your in-depth 3-month review that is your bonus reading. Let's start by going over the board that I'm using for you and all 12 signs. That way we're all on the same page. We're going to start by taking a look at you for the month of March, number 3, right? April, the number 4. And May, the number 5. All right. I take time to explain that because people are like, I don't do pre-layout tarot. Neither do I. It's a board. March, April, May. That's it. The bottom row are the elements I like to look at. The sun. Are we on point with our happiness? Do we understand what it is, right? Are we in tune with it? Are we living it? Are we loving it? Or do we need to make adjustments? Because as we change, our idea of the sun changes too. And then the Tower, anything unexpected, untowards, or frankly, insights that we very much need over the next several months. All right, let's get cracking. Let's take a look at Virgo for the month of March. Uh-oh. It's a Swords for some of you. We don't know, we can't see what's going on. For some of you. Show me Virgo in March. Show me Virgo. In March. One more, I think. Let's take a look at Virgo, please, in March. Ten of Swords, Six of Wands, the Ace of Wands. Okay. Yeah. Two of Swords. Three of Cups and the Eight of Wands. I got you caught up in a dynamic here where you're showing me mixed parts triumph and pain. That's a weird combination, my friend. And by that I mean there's times when you're in a dynamic with somebody and see you sharing it in March, so I presume now, here in the tail end of February, carrying over into March then. This is not a surprise construct. You're either in this or you're not. So it kind of tells me right away that this is your reading because it is live. It is happening. It continues to happen too. So like I said, I got you caught up in a connection where it's mixed results, mixed signals of elation, triumph, conversation, sense of being seen, hope-filled, passion-filled, and then confusing and painful. It goes back and forth, and it has been going back and forth like this for a while. Again, this is either yours or it's not. It's happening now. It's not like, oh, Virgo, this happened to you 5 years ago. This is March. And it's current. It is current. Current, which means you were likely experiencing this in February, and who knows. But I'm not reading the past. I'm not going to read how you got into it. You might show me. But for the most part, you're just kind of jumping me into where you are. So if this isn't your read, cool. Check your other placements. You know, guys, you know my thoughts or feelings on mixed emotions and mixed thoughts. It's like what feels very, very good today, if it doesn't feel good at the end of the day and it's consistently inconsistent, then it's a no. Mixed signals mean no. But I see where your energy gets caught up and swept up, and it's charm is in there, attraction is in there, passion's in there, but it leaves you feeling deflated over and over again. It's like a high you can't quite sustain when you interact with this person. You connect with it and it feels good, but it leaves you so confused. It leaves you so confused about where you stand, and yeah, the attraction's nice. Yeah, because that's there. Six of Wands and the Ace of Wands. Oh, you're darn right. You're darn right. The attraction's there. The passion's there. The intrigue is there. The flirtation is there. And that sense of, oh, I'm being seen by this person. It feels so good. Ooh, I want their attention. They want my attention. Attention. And I'm saying lots of attention followed up with a lot of confusion and pain afterwards. And the question is, why do I keep doing this? What's the purpose of this? Where's it going to go? What's it going to mean? And that's the kind of stuff that hits you at the end of the day. Not a sense of security, not a sense of confidence, but just it feels so good when I connect to it, when I talk to it, and when I see them, because the Three of Cups is here. So not only do we have the energetic oomph behind this in March, we have the reality of it showing up too, Three of Cups and the Eight of Wands. I mean, you two connect and talk often enough. Again, present, happening now. We connect often enough. But the words don't seem to linger. in that respect of its significance. The impression of attraction stays. This we know. But then at the end of the day, it kind of deflates, and we're like, what's the point of this? It doesn't feel secure, does it? It feels attractive. It even feels triumphant. But it doesn't feel secure, does it? You don't feel secure in this. Whomever it is we're connecting to doesn't feel secure in this, but yet somehow we're still mixing our chemistry here. Okay, so I see that in March. So it's equal parts elation for you and triumph and connectivity, but also riding on the tail end of that, disappointment. So I said it's that high. You hit that chemical high, but it doesn't stay there. It doesn't stay up here. Okay, it goes down. And then it's like I need another energetic hit with this person. So you got to ask yourself, you want to continue to do that, or is this going to take on a deeper meaning and context, you know? Okay, let's keep on keeping on. Like always, I want what's best for you. The way this thing hasn't evened out makes me concerned, you know? Something either has somewhere to go and grow because it wants to, and two people share that language, and they share the meaning, or they don't. And it kind of stays back there in a fun, flirty sort of 3 of cups in exchange, you know? Let's keep on keeping on. If you want this to deepen, I hope it does. I do. But it needs to show up that way too, okay? You know? It's like, I want this with you, but just this part. Well, we got to own that. If you want more, then you want more. All right? It's kind of non-negotiable. When people want more and they're not getting it. You know, let's take a look at Virgo, please, in April. Ooh, it's a chill today, honey. It's a chill today. I got a blanket on over my lap and everything. It's like, ooh, it's extra crispy cool today. Yes, it is. Okay. Yeah. Death. 5 of Cups. I understand. Queen of Swords. No, excuse me. I agree with you. I think that it's a painful choice, but it's also a logical one. Okay. I got it. It's not what you want. Good job. I was wondering, you know, I get concerned when I see stuff like this. I know what it's like to be caught up in stuff like this, where the attraction's there, but it doesn't seem to do much more than just attract. You know? You got to start making hard decisions, and I don't know how long you were in that. Even though it looks so simple, 6 of Wands, Ace of Wands, 3 of Cups, 8 of Wands, it looks so simple, right? People can do that for years, months. And then the pain and disappointment and confusion increases because it doesn't do more, but it still hits like, oh, this could be everything. And then it deflates. You know? And I see, this could be everything. And then it deflates. That's how we know it's not sustainable. It's all butterflies, no pentacles. Or in other words, all anxiety, high tension, but nothing to make it stabilize or make it feel secure. Okay. You know that. The Virgo I'm looking at, you're not stupid. You're not stupid. This isn't what you want. I'm not telling you what to do. Tarot Lady doesn't dictate anything. I read what's here, not what isn't, once more. And I get that a lot. Why didn't you say this? Why did you say that? Because it wasn't there. This is what's here. The Virgo I'm looking at, mark my fucking words, is making a logical choice because they don't want to be hurt anymore with the 5 of Cups. You have enough accumulated past experience and disappointment with this to let it go with death. And that's a conscious decision with the Queen of Swords, and that's the way it should be. That feeling isn't enough to override the logic or the principle of the thing. It's like my temporarily connecting to this, and temporarily, the key word here, feeling good about it, isn't enough to justify the bullshit. And it's not. You have my complete sympathies. But also, good for you. And I don't mean that in a mocking way. I mean good for you because you figured it out. Good for you, figured it out. You want to know how long I was caught up in my bullshit before I allowed myself to figure it out? You don't want to know. I did it once, I'll never do it again. The point is I learned. You did too. Okay? Death, Five of Cups, and Queen of Swords. You don't want any more accumulated pain. You don't want any more shitty bills on your tab. How much more are you going to keep paying for that? You know, it's not what you want. So I know it's so easy to say move on. At least intellectually you understand you're supposed to, because you don't want to hurt anymore. We'll start there. That's already a powerful ownership or recognition anyway. That's good. Very good. So, honey, I've seen people hem and haw and fuss and carry that shit out for years, you know? You don't want to. You don't want to. You know better. I know you know better. Right here. This is Virgo saying, I know better. Okay? And then the Seven of Swords, Nine of Cups, Nine of Pentacles. Again, it's more like a quiet confirmation or affirmation with self. This is not what you want. This is not who you are, and this is not what you're about. You know, you're an independent, proud Virgo. And whatever this is, you have to admit to yourself, even if it's quiet, this is not what I want. This is not wish fulfillment. And I'm just going to silently move away from this. Okay? You know, it's going to be one of those flavors that hits different and it's exciting and it's fun, but then you realize, it never changes context or meaning, that particular flavor. It doesn't deepen and it doesn't offer any more portions. In fact, the cost of it keeps going up, but the portion remains the same. Why is that? This is costing me too much for this particular flavor, and none of it's good. It's not worth it either, right? And that's the kind of private conversation you have with yourself. So basically in April, I see you officially capping this thing. You're done. You know? Again, it's not a threat. Don't take it as one. This is either you or it's not. This is either you in April or it isn't. That's it. So if this isn't your reading, then don't worry about it. Check the other placements. You might, speaking of which, do this later in June. Some of you might hang in there a little more because you really think that this has more opportunity than perhaps it's initially presenting. I can't tell you what to do. But for the Virgo I'm looking at, you make a choice. And it's the right one for you. And that's all I care about. Because I agree with you. I'd rather be on my own and know that I'm single than caught up in something where I'm not quite sure of who I am to that person and why. And for how long do we not quite know what we are to each other? So I applaud you. You know, people get so mad at me when they see shit like this. It's like, honey, you're either doing that or you're not. And be glad then that somebody in your sign is willing to stand up for themselves under the core principles of what's right for them. You know? I think people get mad when they see stuff like this because it's what they know they're supposed to do, but they don't want to see that. That means they're not ready. It's not their reading, not today. It might be in future, but it ain't today. For other Virgos, it's your reading at your time. You let me know then in the comments. Yeah, this is my reading. So I say good job being honest with yourself. Good job not allowing the small coming together of some passions where it's kind of fun override your better judgment. You know? You did great. And you're right, you can stand on your own 2 feet. You're a perfectly robust, capable Virgo. Okay? All right, let's jump on over here to May. Show me Virgo. In May. Show me Virgo, please, in May. Okay. Ace of Cups. The Four of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles, letting go, letting go, letting go. Good job. Ace of Swords, the Page of Cups, and the Ten of Cups. Okay, so that's fine. All right. As we're closing down this pathway. We're going to let it go. We're not holding on to it anymore. Some of you, you held on to this for a long time with the Seven of Pentacles. It felt comfortable in many respects, whatever this dynamic was. There was a certain comfort zone to it. It was well established, and you also considered it as part of your pathway for a long time. All the more reason. It's never too late. It's never too late. This thing wouldn't grow or develop. You recognized it as having roots in your life, but there wasn't much to show for it on the top side. I understand. You're showing me the passage of time and how it's catching up to you in May. Completely having walked away from this and emotionally uninvested from it, cool. Eight of Swords, Page of Cups, the Ten of Cups. You have the question here in your mind, will I ever harmonize with somebody in the greater scheme of things? Of course you will. Just not with this. If you were able to achieve a Ten of Cups with this, you'd know by now, don't you think? So I understand your trepidation there at the Eight of Swords. I don't know if I will ever see anything working out for me in the greater scheme of things, if things will ever blossom into a space of emotional harmony. That's just your doubts and misgivings. Think of where you're coming from, of what you just had to do. You know, you're not showing me an outcome, you're showing me this sucks in May. Now, give yourself some time, give yourself some grace of healing. There's not enough space between you and this before you start to feel good about it yet. Okay, you did it for a reason. So in May, when you feel bad, and you're hearing that fucking song, you know that fucking song, all by myself. You know that song? That, you know what? I have a couple of questions for her. Or maybe she didn't write that song. Maybe she sang it, in which case she did a beautiful job. It's a very powerful voice. I'm not saying this, but I'm saying, you know what? I have a couple of questions for that lady. Just screaming at the top of her lungs. And I guess it's so powerful because it is so relatable. I know you're going to go through that phase, honey, around this time after you do the thing and you know and you're bigger than this, you're better than this, you're stronger than this. Yes, yes, yes. You're going to lose sight of that for a little bit in May. And it's like, I'm done. I've walked away from this. Oh, but there's something about the recognition of time pisses you off, as it does most people. I put how much time into this? What? Okay. I want you to chill with that. All right? It is what it is. Are you going to start saving yourself time now? Eight of Swords, Page of Cups, Ten of Cups. So this whole thing about, I don't know if I'll ever have something larger. It'll be more significant. You will. It's just you just can't see it yet. So I don't want to hear about all by myself. You know you're going to be okay all by yourself. Okay? You know that. But you won't always be by yourself either. So let's try not to get lost to that too much. I don't want you to lose sight of the goal of something greater, which is your Ten of Cups. Okay? Please don't lose sight of that. You still need to adjust to this decision over here. And I see you really trying to learn to let go of the time spent on this. No, you're not going to have an immediate answer of what's in my future. That's why you're watching tarot. But you won't be all by yourself forever. No, you won't. Okay? You'll see. The Sun. Let it be enough for you over the spring that if you're this Virgo, and only if you're this Virgo, let it be enough for you that you did the right thing for yourself. Because, honey, this wasn't going to go into a Ten of Cups. Again, if it was gonna, you'd have kept it. Or even if it did go into a Ten of Cups, it lost its status somewhere along the way. It stopped being cohesive. It stopped being supportive. It stopped being an elemental figure in your life that suggests love and connectivity and a stronger bond than, say, your coworker. You know what I mean? And if it lost that Ten of Cups status, what does that say about this? That you still had to do the right thing. Okay? What's going on? Gosh, there's nothing worse than a cup you had everything with, and then they start to demote themselves and absent themselves, and they don't want to be part of it anymore. That's worse. And if that happened to you, I'm so sorry. But we didn't see that. But just in case that's your particular story, son, I'm so sorry. That would explain your sense of I gotta walk away from the Seven of Pentacles. So I don't know how much time you put into this. But it meant a lot to you. And I suppose that's what's important. So give yourself that sense of grace, of space, and healing. And congratulations to yourself. I know it's going to feel like a fucked up congratulations, but still a congratulations, nevertheless, is in order for you having done the right thing. That means you're much more likely to achieve a kind of 10 of Cups if that's your goal. 6 of Wands, 2 of Cups, and the 8 of Wands. Yeah. Knight of Swords, the 4 of Swords, and the 3 of Pentacles. Yeah. See what happened there with your son. Okay. First of all, for those of you who hate the sound of sipping, this is your chance to turn down the volume. Okay? I need a sip. So I'm looking at your son, and it's very practical here. It is. And it started out just like your March did, in that sense of this makes me happy and I know it. There's that 6 of Wands again, triumph. 2 of Cups, a sense of we love each other. 8 of Wands, there's the communication. Something's happening here and it made you feel good. And I think that carried your sense of happiness for a long time. It really did. It didn't take much for you. Bless you for that. It didn't take much for you. But you saw how the problems added up and it didn't stabilize. So your sense of the sun then was immediately achieved with this person. But then when you thought about it into a deeper context, it was not a sustaining sun. You had a short-term sun with this. That's what short-term happy. That's what I'm saying. It looks like a high and then it comes down. It was not a sustaining sun, the kind that makes you feel stable. It makes you feel like you have somewhere to go and grow and invest in. That was absent from this. Even though you spent a lot of time in it, that doesn't mean it was developing with you simultaneously. Make sense? Okay. So here in the sun, I see that short-term happiness achieved. But when you gave it a deeper thought, Knight of Swords, 4 of Swords, 3 of Pentacles, you're saying this thing, no matter what I put into it, no matter the good vibes, no matter how much action I take towards it, is nothing more than friendly. 3 of Pentacles. I'm not saying you didn't do your part to try to grow this damn thing. I'm sure you did. 7 Pentacles. But the receiving contribution was cooperative at best, at 3. You're like, this feels good in the moment, but our structure is a 3 of Pentacles. You're like, that? Does that make us happy, Virgo? Is that our long-term happiness? Short-term, it feels good. So you had to talk with yourself then about short-term versus long-term gains. I agree. By all rights, then your sun was achieved. This makes me feel happy now. But it doesn't make me happy over the course of the day, or weeks, or months. That's very insightful of you. Good job. And understanding your son. It really didn't take much then for that feeling of happiness with this person. But it really wasn't sustainable practices over a friendship. That's how it's coming across 3 of Pentacles. It had a very loose structure. Okay? Okay. The Tower. When I was young, I never needed anyone, and making love was just for fun. All by myself. I understand. Knight of Cups. The Five of Swords. Thank you, the Hermit. I don't want to keep digging. I got it. You got it. We all got it. Your power card popped up. It's pulling rank. Good. All right. Knight of Cups. Five of Swords. The Hermit. You got it, babe. You got it. No, you got it. Do I need to translate for you? You got it. Okay. When your tower comes on through, you know by late March. You know by late March. Because you pull rank in April. Okay? We understand the feelings here. We're deceptive. It might have been romantic, maybe. But it wasn't loving. When it's love, it goes beyond a Three of Cups and some hot and fun communication. And it's here today, it's gone tomorrow. And we don't hear from it again in a couple of days or weeks. Right? Real love shows the fuck up. We don't have to lie to ourselves about it. Five of Swords. You're saying this at some point over March. The Hermit. You got it. You got it. That's you. You got it. This is your tower that hits later. It's predictive. But it's not like you didn't have a feeling, by say March 1st or even the 15th. You had a feeling. Of course you did. The little piles of evidence started to add up, right? And there's a moment on your timeline you can't take it back, and I don't want you to. The truth about that particular insight, which, by the way, you're more than equipped to handle it. We see that. You can't take it back, and you don't want to. It's in our best interest. Okay? You got a good grip on it, or you will. Okay? I just want you to keep that in mind. But yeah, by late March, you'll know. You did very good. I'm proud of you. And when the kind of echoes kick in and that all by myself feeling kicks in, I'm going to point something out to you I don't think you've considered. You already were all by yourself over here. You just had someone to talk to from time to time. That's a real connection. You never feel like it's one-sided or all by yourself, or it's a temporary feeling. Okay? So I don't want you to think of this as a waste of time. It wasn't. You learned something from it. And that will inform you when there's a next time, and there will be a next time, about what stays and goes, what grows and what doesn't, what's worthy of your time, energy, and effort, and what isn't. No good experiences are ever really gone to waste. Ever. Ace of Pentacles. The Star. Seven of Pentacles. Yes, I understand you were aiming for something higher. And I want you to continue to do so. Get back on the pathway that actually you can cultivate. For many of you, you have been toying with this idea in the back of your mind of a start, a brand new beginning, something that will grow and be prosperous. What that Ace of Pentacles is, you would know best. But you associate it with kind of jump-starting your particular pathway and getting it back on track. So already your mind, and specifically your spirit here with the Star, has already started to turn in the direction of new development. Yeah, I know. Virgo is still Virgo. Virgo doesn't mind being steady, patient, and even slow, just so long as you have something to show for it. So even though you're having to walk away from what looks like a useless cultivation practice, it wasn't, I promise. It's going to allow you to put some good energy into a new future, literally a new future, and something that you can reach for. And like I said, it has prosperity written on it. It's already calling to you now as we speak. As of this reading, it's already calling to you. This idea of a new beginning, a new offer, new something. but won't allow you to just hang out in the Seven of Pentaclesville and call it done and feel satisfied. No, no, no. There's so much more to reach for and to desire and hope for. And I want you to have that. Obviously, as you walk away from this one, you will pick up the scent, if you will, of a new. Okay? Something I said that calls to you. But making it real. Yeah, there's that. Yeah. Oh, I see. So you might have some very strong Taurus in your chart. Five of Swords, the Hierophant. You know, it's not as a bad guy, the Hierophant. It's just his cons are right up there with his pros. They're equally high. Okay? All cards in tarot have pros and cons. This one always is associated with con. It actually has a lot of pros. This one's always associated with pros, but actually has a lot of cons. I mean, this is all energy, as in life, reflects nature. Black, white, rose, thorn, day, night. So here, in this context where I see the Five of Swords and the self-deception, the Tower is that we kind of told ourselves this was a good commitment. This was a good gig. We allowed ourselves to believe this and thus spiritually commit to it. So whatever the relationship context was here, I'm not thinking it was marriage, but what I'm saying is that the spirit here connected to it like it was. Like it was an upper level commitment. And then we kind of told ourselves, this is it. This is where we need to be. This is where our investment is. This is the future. But then you go back to that contrast to the sun. This makes me temporarily happy. This makes me temporarily inflated, temporarily feeling good. And then I'm always let down. Why is that? But you know what? No matter. So we had some self-deceptive or self-deceiving qualities here about this totally is worth committing to. Totally. And that's the problem with the Hierophant. Once he's made up his spiritual mind, he sticks to it. I'm glad to see that you took a look around and used reasoning and your sense of pain and growing sense of disappointment speak for themselves. Because once we kind of force ourselves to believe a particular point of view, it's really hard to unshake that. Very. Okay? And that's what your Tower is, and I see you taking care of that over here. So we went from this, like a switch, to we need to fix that. This is not worth committing to. Or staying committed to something. Okay, so good for you for incorporating the pieces of knowledge over here. I'd rather be on my own than in this thing with you, whatever this is. I understand. Okay, yeah, I want you to aim. It's already there for you. It's available. It's in the works. It's cooking. It's further out, though, obviously, but it's further out. Okay. $16, the empty well. It's time to replenish, I'll say. I think that's very accurate. Anything else, please? Number 62, the will of the wisp. Treasures hidden in the shadows. You don't know yet what's before you. You're still working with shadows. And when you start to make more progress exiting the shadows, that's when you see what's a little bit more out there for you in terms of treasures and new beginnings and things like that. Okay. Mm-hmm. Key to lock and unlock. A lot of folks have been getting this. We have to understand the key, like on all things, has a dual purpose. We can either insist someone else has the key and we are not free to free ourselves, or we understand the key's been in our pocket this whole time and we can release ourselves. Okay? Let's see, the eye is in reverse. No envy here. Some of you feel like you're vulnerable, but also no envy here. No evil eye. It's just logic and reasoning. No sense of twisted karma. It's just the truth. It's just the truth. No evil eye. No envy either. Okay? The horse. Freedom to choose, take action. Yes. Okay. We have the letters C, B, I, A, K. We have one medallion here, Aquarius. You might have some very strong Aquarius in your chart connecting to, or their season might be important to you. And then we also have the dolphin, a sense of lightness, a sense of lightness and playfulness. I was trying to combine those two words. Very interesting. Lightness, playfulness, and the ability to swim fluently in the waters or emotions with a sense of ease. And I think that's where you'd like to be. Emotions are easier. Okay. Virgo honey, I hope this helped you. Put it in the comments. Take care. Be well.